Overview of Thornhold. Book 16 and last book of the Harper Series. The story follows Bronwyn, a harper and an antiquities shop owner in Waterdeep, whose past is marked by tragedy. Her family was slaughtered by the Zhentarim, and she was sold into slavery. Unbeknownst to her, her brother Brandon survived and is now known as Dag Zorath. Dag became a servant of the mad god Cyric. Their father, Ronrolf Caradun, master of Thornhold Keep, had been away during the attack and believed all his children had perished. Ronrolf's bloodline also serves as guardian of the 3 Rings of Samula, powerful relics long coveted by the Zhentarim and the Harpers in Waterdeep. Years later, Dag, now a disciple of the Zhentarim priest Malicor, sets out to claim the 3 Rings of Samula and seize control of Thornhold. Malicor, ever the puppet master, orchestrates a collision course between the estranged siblings, aiming to obtain the rings either through Dag's success or their mutual destruction. Dag acquires one of the rings and entrusts it to his daughter, Kara, who was raised by foster parents and unaware of her true heritage. She is captured by Algarind, a tier recruit acting on the orders of Sir Gareth Cormeril, a fallen paladin under Dag's influence. Though Dag communicates with Cormeril through a black crystal ball, Cormeril secretly instructs Algarind without Dag's knowledge, further disrupting Dag's plans. Bronwyn is drawn into the conflict through both Malicor's machinations and the influence of Kelban Arun's son via his nephew Dunalothan. She reunites briefly with her father at Thornhold, but is forced to flee with one of the remaining rings as Dag seizes Thornhold. In her escape, she allies with Ebenezer Stoneshaft, a fierce dwarf whose clan was recently massacred by Dag's warband during their assault on Thornhold. Bronwyn agrees to help Ebenezer search for any surviving members of the Stoneshaft clan. Their journey takes them aboard a vessel captained by the refined and surprisingly intelligent ogre, Captain Orwig. Together, they intercept a fleeing slave ship, freeing the captured Stoneshaft dwarfs, and unexpectedly, they discover Kara among the prisoners. Bronwyn returns to Waterdeep with dozens of Ebenezer's kin and helps them find meaningful work. During this time, Kelban Arun's son visits and reveals that Kara is Bronwyn's niece. Bronwyn confesses she now possesses 2 of the Rings of Samula, one of which is worn by Kara. Bronwyn and Ebenezer set off to fulfill her father's request, to travel to Summit Hall, the Knights of Samula's training monastery. Bronwyn soon discovers that the 3rd ring is with the Lich Rennick Snowcloak Caradun, who resides in the old tower at Summit Hall. Rennick willingly gives her the ring, revealing the rings activate a powerful artifact called Fenrisban that awaits her in Gladestone. Meanwhile, in response to the sack of Thornhold, the paladins of Tyr rally at Waterdeep. Their leader, Sir Piergeron, prepares his forces for a counterattack. He gathers intelligence from Sir Gareth and Algarind about Thornhold's connection to Bronwyn. Seeking counsel, he meets with his old friend, the Archmage Kelban Arun's son, only to be rebuffed by the Harper leader. At Gladestone, Bronwyn and Ebenezer discover the village in ruins, sacked by orcs. They coordinate with the remaining elves of Gladestone to raid the orc caves, recover Fenrisbane, and drive out the remaining orcs. They find Fenrisbane, a toy siege tower with the magical ability to grow several stories tall and conceal forces within. With their mission complete, Bronwyn and Ebenezer depart for Waterdeep. There, Bronwyn learns from Dunalothan that Kara was handed over to the paladins by Kelban Arun's son. However, Sir Gareth Cormeril later informs her that the escorting paladins were ambushed and killed, and Kara has gone missing. All signs point back to Thornhold. Bronwyn and Ebenezer devise a new plan, this time reluctantly joined by Algarind, who is sworn to recover Kara for the paladins. Bronwyn deceives Dag into allowing them entry and demonstrates the power of the Rings of Samula. The Fenrisbane grows to a towering size, unleashing Ebenezer and the remaining members of the Stoneshaft dwarf clan. During the ensuing battle, Algarind defeats Dag but is stopped by Bronwyn from delivering a fatal blow. Enraged, he turns on her, only to be tricked into entering the tower, where he is magically shrunk to the size of a toy. In the aftermath, Kara chooses to leave with her father Dag rather than stay with Bronwyn. With Dag's army defeated, Bronwyn gifts Thornhold to the Stoneshaft clan until Kara comes of age. The 3 Rings of Samula are distributed to the paladins, the Harpers, and one is kept by Bronwyn. Outraged by the outcome, Sir Piergeron voices his objections to Kelban Arun's son, as Dunalothan delivers the miniature version of Algarind. It sows the mistrust between the Harpers and the paladins. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. and hit the bell for new content.